Hi, this is Scott with eTrailer. Today we're taking a look at and installing our Blue Ox Hitch on our 2021 Honda CR-V. First impressions with this one is I really like this hitch. Even though it is a visible cross tube design and the receiver does come down a little bit so you'll be able to see it on a daily basis. One of the things I like about it is a really heavy duty hitch, and I like the color of it, and it really doesn't look too bad on here. One of the nice features of this one that I like is that it actually has a tab on here and a bracket. So if you want to hook up your wiring, and it's going to give you a really good place to hook up either your 4-pole or your 7-pole wiring here on the back of your hitch. This hitch is going to really get the job done for you, whether you plan on carrying a fairly heavy cargo rack or maybe you have some heavy bikes on a bike rack. This one will get it done for you. Now, if you have any questions or comments about this hitch for your CR-V, you can always leave any questions or comments down below in the comments section, or you can get a hold of one of our experts here at eTrailer. They'd love to help you out. This hitch is going to be your 2-inch receiver style. It's going to be 2-inch by 2-inch, so this is going to accommodate most of your common accessories that are on the market today. This hitch is also going to have a 5/8 pinhole opening, and that's going to fit your standard pins. That's going to hold any of your accessories in place. Now keep in mind this hitch won't come with the pins, so you may want to pick one up here at eTrailer. Other than that, a lot of your accessories on the market now will have a pin and clip with it, and a lot of your bike racks have an anti-rattle pin with it, so you shouldn't have to worry about that at all. Now as far as your safety chain loops, these are going to accept either your S-style hooks or it will take your Clevis style hooks. So either one of those are going to help you out if you plan on pulling any small trailers. As far as measurements go for this hitch, we're looking at a measurement of 13 inches, and that is from the top inner side of our receiver to the ground. And that's going to be what you're going to be able to decide if you need any rise in the shank of either your bike racks or your cargo carriers, and that will also help you figure out what you need for a ball mount. Now from the center of the pinhole out to the edge of our bumper, that number we're looking at right at around 2.5 inches. And what that will do is help you figure out if they're going to have enough room for any of your accessories that fold up and stow away, if they will make any contact with the back of your CR-V. As far as weights go for this hitch, we're looking at a maximum tongue weight rating of 600 pounds. That's going to be the weight of your accessories pushing down on the inner portion of the inside of your receiver. Now for a gross trailer weight rating, we're looking at 4,000 pounds. That's going to be the weight of your trailer and everything that you have on there. Now keep in mind, it's always a good idea to take a look at your owner's manual and make sure that you're not exceeding any of your maximum towing capabilities listed in your manual. Now, as far as installation goes, this one's pretty straightforward. You will have to drop your exhaust, but it's no big deal. It's definitely something you can do yourself. But if it's something you don't have time or the place or the tools to do yourself, you can always take a look at our dealer locator and get something done for you locally. If it's something you feel like tackling yourself, stick around, watch our video, and we'll help you get it installed. To start our installation, we're going to want to get this panel out of the way, and we're going to have a few little plastic clips. And we're going to have 2 10mm nuts in the back. I'm going to start with those with a 10mm socket. With those out, I'll come back through with a flathead screwdriver and get these to pop out. These can be a little tricky sometimes, you just got to work around them. And once you get that center pop down, they should pull right out of place. With all of our clips out, we can remove our panel. Get our exhaust lowered down out of the way so we have room to get our hardware in place. And we're going to have 3 rubber isolators. We're going to have one in the back on each side, and then we're going to have one a little bit further forward that we're going to undo. So I have a cam buckle strap on, so that way when I remove these, my exhaust has some form of support. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a pry bar, and I'm just going to start working my isolators off of their pins on the exhaust. And we'll do that on both sides. Now I'll work on the one further forward. This one could be a little more tricky because it's kind of up in there. Sometimes if you're lucky, you can get these by hand. And this one is on there pretty tight. Now what I did with these is I just sprayed them down with a little soapy water. That'll kind of help you get them moving a little bit. It seems like once you get them to start moving, it makes it a little bit easier. Now we have that down, we'll take our cam buckle strap and just back that off a little bit, bringing our exhaust down to give us a little bit more room. Hold on to your exhaust when you're doing that. Just let it down enough to give yourself some room. Now we need to get our hardware into these two holes, and in our kit we're going to have a fish wire kit, and it's going to have a coiled end and a really long wire end. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our hardware in our rearmost hole, or our forward hole first. So what I want to do is I'm going to have this larger access, and I want to push my wire, the coiled end, back to that. Now I'll take one of the spacer blocks that come in our kit, run that up onto our wire, and then I'm going to thread on one of my carriage bolts onto the end of that. Just want to thread that on. Now after I've done that, I'll push my spacer block, my carriage bolt up into the frame, bring that down, and I'll leave my fish wire on. Now I'll do the same process with this hole. Now for this one, we're going to come back in through our rearmost hole, bring that through, same thing, put our spacer block, carriage bolt threaded on. And same thing we did before, we'll just push that through our access hole, run that up, pull that down, and we'll leave our fish wire on this one as well. Now we'll do the same procedure on our other side. Now with an extra set of hands, we just want to lift our hitch in place, and then we'll put our fish wires in the corresponding holes and keep our fish wires and pull those down as we're lifting the hitch into place. Then after we get our nuts started, we'll just get those hand tight, and that will hold our hitch in place to get the rest of our hardware on. On the back of our hitch, we're going to have this slot, and that's going to go near our toe loop here. And what we want to do is take our carriage bolt, the long one that comes in the kit, and we're going to run our carriage bolt through our hitch itself. Now we're going to take this plate that comes in our kit, we're going to run that in through our bolt onto the hook side. Now we'll just follow that up with our flange nut and just bring that down finger tight. We're going to come back through and just snug down all of our hardware. Now for the hardware at our toe loop, we just want to hold our plate where we want it, and just go ahead and get that snug down as well. After all of our hardware is snug down, we'll come back through with our torque wrench and torque down all of our hardware to the specifications listed in our instruction manual. If you don't have a torque wrench, you can pick one up here at eTrailer, or you can take a look at your local auto parts store. You should be able to rent one there. With everything torqued down, we'll come back through and get our exhaust put back in place. What I like to do is spray down my isolators and my pins on my mufflers. And what that's going to do is help me get my isolators put back in place. Now normally at this point we would put this little cover back up underneath, but our neighbor opted to not have us put this one back on. Now normally what you would do is you would trim out a little section for this to fit up in there. Just follow your instruction with that. It's a pretty simple little cut you can do really easily. Other than that, with everything back in place, that'll do it for our look at our Blue Ox Hitch on our 2021 Honda CR-V. I'm Scott with eTrailer, and thanks for watching.